From our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with Spots Now.
From the news organization that exposed it all, this is The White Saviors, a Canadaland original podcast.
A Canadian podcast network has agreed to pay $634,000 in a negotiated settlement after an unfounded allegation in a podcast. The founder of Canadaland, Jesse Brown, must make an apology on the website and the podcast. The show appeared to repeat a false claim from a 1996 magazine article as a statement of fact, and Canadaland didn't seek comment before publishing. In 2024, a judge suggested Brown showed a callous disregard of reputation and personal damage. CTV News reports it's one of the larger sums awarded in recent years. Pod News has learnt that Canadaland was fully insured for the settlement account. We've a full statement from Jesse Brown and from podcast lawyer Gordon Firemark on what we should learn from it, which you'll find in our show notes today. Apple released more information on upcoming features as part of the company's WWDC event. In the announcement, we've heard that from fall this year, Mac users will get access to video podcasts in the Podcasts app. Apple Podcasts on tvOS will also support video playback and will have a full redesign. And there's a new Search Within a Show feature to find an episode. Apple Podcasts Video allows creators to include an optional 4K version of their show, which, while overkill on a phone, will look good on the big screen. Typically, these new features roll out in mid-September, with public betas in July. Development betas are available now, though they are so confidential we can't even report on them. I can't even tell you whether or not I've installed it. Well, I can, and I have. Those who host their podcasts on Substack will be able to distribute video to Apple Podcasts in a few weeks, according to a webinar with Substack product manager Zach Taylor, spotted by webinar watcher Chris Stone. The platform also delivers video automatically to YouTube. It doesn't support Spotify video, though. Tickets for Podcast Movement 2026 in New York City are now on sale. The event has also published its speaker selection process, and session submissions are also open today. We're promised live podcast recordings each evening. 77% of podcast listening comes through just 3 apps, according to OP3 data analysed by Cohort. The work highlights a specific cluster of listening platforms, but Apple Podcasts, Spotify and CastBox are the big ones, according to the data. A new company called Pod Disco is launching this month. The company builds and maintains custom websites for podcasts, where episodes are made searchable and discoverable on search and AI platforms. And in order to test, the company's looking for 5 shows for their free beta program. More details in our newsletter today. The Podcast Academy is launching TPA Talent Connect, a way to serve as a bridge between podcast talent and organizations who want them. And when someone advertises on your show, is Google taking the credit? For one client, Adopter Media found that 47% of podcast-driven traffic was credited as coming from Google search. They cover ways to ensure that your podcast gets the credit. We're getting closer to the World Cup, so it's time for a World Cup Corner. And one of Europe's largest television producers, Banijay Entertainment, has launched a digital sports brand, including its first podcast. Players Network's first show will be former England football player Jamie Vardy's Having a Party, just in time for the World Cup. The show's made with sports and entertainment content studio Contentual. He shoots, he scores, mate! In Australia, Nova is bringing the UK's TalkSport brand down under with the first Australian-made show, TalkSport World Cup Shootout. TalkSport is owned by News Corp. Nova is owned by Lachlan Murdoch's Illyria. In Dallas, the podcast network Stolen Water Media, founded by Dallas radio legend Mike Reiner, has launched a comprehensive World Cup 2026 fan hub, including highlights of the coverage from Sunset Soccer Club. A mum and son hosted show, Football Fan Fanatics, has been launched. It'll cover the highs, the lows, and the glorious chaos of football. And as we go into the World Cup and wade through all of the press releases about podcasts doing special coverage, we thought you'd you might like page 5 of July 2006's Podcast User Magazine, which focuses on a comedy World Cup podcast, which is downloadable free from the web as an enhanced iTunes podcast and from all UK mobile phone networks. Whatever next? We've every issue of Podcast User Magazine archived online, thanks to your support. In People News, the BBC has named Rhodri Talfan-Davies as Deputy Director General. He was Acting Director General, the name the BBC gives its CEO, before the arrival of Matt Britton. Davies will be responsible for editorial strategy. He's been at the corporation for 28 years. And Lindsay Turner has been appointed VP Digital Growth and Strategy at BBC Studios Digital Brands. She joins from ad agency VCCP Media. And in podcast news, We Choose to Go to Kennedy is brand new from Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, taking audiences behind the gates of the visitor complex and into the heart of human spaceflight. Each episode features conversations, stories and insider perspectives, from launch history to the innovations shaping the next era of exploration. The Audio Zoo podcast drama network has released a new season of The Collector, a gritty neo-noir crime series. Written by Jerry Bader, the show explores the dark undercurrents of Toronto's underworld, focusing on the weirder and more dangerous stories hidden in plain sight. And an American game knows the best way to understand a soccer nation is to listen to its fans. As the US prepares to co-host the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the show releases a special episode exploring the history of US Ultras through the songs, chants and traditions that have defined supporter culture for more than a century. Sounds of, believe it or not, a soccer nation. And this podcast is sponsored by Spots Now. Spots Now is the AI operating system for podcast advertising, and there's an upcoming webinar that you can join to learn a little bit more about how it all works. It's on June the 18th, and you can learn how podcast networks can use AI to maximize their sales output using Claude, agents, and ChatGPT. It's free to book at spotsnow.io/webinar, or you can use the link for Spots Now in our show notes. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free, we're at podnews.net.